Indiana won the toss, deferred. UCLA will receive. Kyle Miller is the deep man for the Bruins. What do you expect to see early on in this one, Joel?
Well, I think from the UCLA perspective, it's got to have some success with their quarterback and their ground game. It's really charged them up on this 3-game run.
Miller picks it up, advances forward, and he gets to the 25-yard line. Nico Iamaleava.
And Gus, it's the ground game for UCLA that has really transformed over these last 3 weeks.
Jalen Berger in the backfield. He goes in motion. Iamaleava in trouble, and they jump on him. Tyreek Tucker, first man there. Second down and 12 at the 25. Iamaleava intercepted. Aiden Fisher, he's got a leg. Touchdown, Hoosiers. Just like that. Niko Radicic comes in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. Let's see how the Bruins respond. Kyle Miller, the deep man, once again. And he will bring it out of the end zone. And Miller crosses the 15, wrapped up at the 17-yard line.
And then D'Angelo Pons, he's an excellent corner on the outside, all-American caliber corner. He's going to be top of your screen up there, number 5.
First down and 10 to the 18-yard line, and they'll run it. Javian Thomas over the right side. Farrell with the tackle, and it's a gain of 2. Fisher, 46 tackles, 2.5 sacks on the season. Second down and 8. Iamaleava with time underneath and incomplete.
And what's difficult is you got to figure out which rushers are coming, which ones are going to be dropping back into coverage. It's a zone pressure, so you're going to get guys that are dropping and guys that are starting to blitz the quarterback.
Third down and 8 at the 20. Iamaleava underneath, incomplete. Thrown high, Rico Flores the target. In coverage, Jamari Sharp. 3 and out for the Bruins. Toward the sideline, picked up Brady with a seam. Brady, almost popped it free. And there are flags on the play, though. Back at the 40-yard line.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 18, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Indiana.
Solomon Van Horst called for the flag.
And even up 7-0, Curt Cignetti giving you the reaction on the sideline. He wears it on his sleeve, folks, which we love about Curt Cignetti, and this is his quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. Boy, we've been talking about him all morning on Big Noon Kickoff, but what a phenomenal season he has had. And I love what he told us yesterday. And what was your decision like? Why did you come to IU? And what did he say, Gus? He said, fortune favors the bold. I wanted to come to a spot where I could develop into a great player.
And his little brother told him to come. First and 10 at the 35. Mendoza to the sideline, caught at the 40. Elijah Surratt. Second and 5 at the 40. Mendoza goes to the other side, and it's caught. This time, Charlie Becker turns it up. First down, IU. First down from the 47-yard line for Indiana. And they'll hand it off. Roman Hemby, the Maryland transfer. He'll gain a yard on the play. Gary Smith, the third, with the tackle.
And I got to tell you, he is so accurate. The ball goes to the correct spot. He's a very smart player. Continues to work on his footwork. That's what he told us about yesterday in the pocket. But, man, can he spin it.
On second down and 9. Near side, incomplete. Omar Cooper Jr., the target. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Third down and 9. Mendoza steps up in the pocket, wants to run it, cuts it back inside. Still on the move. Oh, Fernando declared. And he gets to the 30. First down, Indiana at the 30. Mendoza goes through his progressions, in trouble. And he'll chuck this one out of bounds. Mendoza underneath, that ball deflected at the line of scrimmage, tipped and intercepted. Scooter Jackson just plucked it out of the air for his second interception of the season and only the third interception of the year for Mendoza. Javian Thomas in the backfield. And they'll give it to him, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Dominique Radcliffe gobbled him up. First down at the 44. Iamale Alva out of the pocket on the move and caught. This time Rico Flores, who came back into the game, he's got it, and a first down for the Bruins. First down and 10 at the 44-yard line. UCLA settling down a bit, but they could not get the running game going. Tyreek Tucker again. Second down and 13 at the 47. Iamaleava off his back foot with time. Bounces out of the pocket. He's got great scrambling ability. Lowers his shoulder and goes out of bounds close to the 40. Anthony Frias checks in the game. Iamaleava sideline throw and incomplete. Jonathan Brady back deep, and they fake it. Here's a reverse. They want to throw it. Incomplete. Matthews threw it. Indiana ready.
Generally speaking, they will attack where the defense is weakest. If you see two safeties back like you see right now, really on a first down, it's probably a run.
From the 41. And here's your run with Black. And he's got a first down and more. Almost broke it.
No.
Play fake. Mendoza looking for the end zone and incomplete. E.J. Williams the target. Second and 10 at the 39. Black straight ahead. Kaylon Black stopped by Keanu Williams. Third down and 7 at the 36. Mendoza looking. Mendoza buys time. Caught over the middle. Williams. And he's down at the UCLA 5. Talk about the footwork. Hemby. And he'll go down inside the 5. Tom Brady, he's a big dude. All of 6'5". Here's a handoff. Hemby. Getting closer to that end zone. Isaiah Chisholm, the middle linebacker, with the tackle. Third down and goal at the 2. Hemby remains the deep back in the I formation. Hemby, second man through. Did he get in? No signal, and he did not get in. UCLA will have to hold once again. Indiana going for it. Fourth down and goal. Inside the 1. Hemby. Touchdown Hoosiers. And it's good.
Not only the enthusiasm, but the commitment that this school has made with that contract a couple of weeks ago. Preempting some of these openings around the country.
Miller. And he'll get to the 17-yard line. Sensational game. First and 10 of the 18. And this time, it's Frias.
You've seen Nico Iamaleava not have the ability to throw the football anywhere because of all that zone coverage in the back end.
Second and 8 at the 20. Iamaleava in trouble. And this one a little long for Jalen Berger. Iamaleava in trouble. Iamaleava goes down again. This Hoosier defense outstanding. Hardy. Carroll to send it away in his own end zone. Brady lets it take a bounce, and it takes a UCLA bounce. And all the way down to the 25. Maybe some love on that.
Maybe Gene Chizik. Remember, he won one.
On first down and 10. Black. Second down and 7 at the 28. Mendoza. Out wide. Caught. His tight end. Nowakowski. And Riley Nowakowski picks up 6. Third down and 1. Black. First down.
That's their MO right there. Third and short.
First down at the 38. Mendoza Sideline throw, back shoulder incomplete. Surratt the target, and flags on the play. Andre Jordan Jr. in coverage for UCLA.
Yeah, and he just had a hold of the jersey of Elijah Surratt. There's nobody in America that runs the back shoulder fade better than Indiana.
Defense number 2, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And the guy that really understands how to do it is Elijah Surratt. And here's what he does best. Elijah Surratt pushes off without pushing off. You know, so he never extends the arm fully, but he's always pulling that defensive back kind of down past him so that he can drop back out on that back shoulder. And so many times the defensive backs grab for DPI.
On first down, sideline again. This one thrown a little high for Surratt, but knocked down by Jordan. Great coverage from the 47. Second down, they'll hand it off to Hemby. And Hemby will pick up a few. Williams. Third down and 7 at the 44. Empty backfield. Hemby in motion. Mendoza all day to throw it. Sideline throw, incomplete. Surratt again the intended receiver. Another flag thrown.
Pass interference. Defense number 18, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That back arm right in front of the official, you can see he was starting to turn that back shoulder. See that grab right there, restricting that back arm? You see that as an official, that's sure to draw a flag. It wasn't huge movement in contact. Honestly think it could have gone uncalled, but first down.
From the 29, here's a handoff. Hemby running right, breaks a tackle. Hemby keeps those legs going. First down and 10 at the 14 for IU. Hemby again, stutter step, gets through the hole, another big chunk. This time he'll get 8. Now Kalon Black in the game. Mendoza wants to run it, gets outside, and it looks like he'll have enough for the first down in front of Key Lawrence. Quickly to the line of scrimmage for Indiana. UCLA having some substitution problems.
Before the ball was snapped, timeout, UCLA.
Led by Pat Coogan, their center, number 78. Mendoza with Black next to him. Mendoza, the slant in the end zone, incomplete. Surratt trips at the bottom of your screen. Surratt, the receiver at the top. Wilkowski in motion. Black, handoff. And Black gets to the 1. Key Lawrence, first man to him. Third down and goal at the 1. Mendoza, touchdown, Indiana. Surratt. Mendoza put that one in a shoebox. Now this is a basketball state, Joel. I don't know, man. That looked like just a good old-fashioned pick and roll.
Yeah, a little pick and roll. 5th consecutive game with a receiving touchdown, and this IU team rolling a little bit here, and really spurred today, at least, by this defense.
And this one into the end zone, and it'll be brought out by Thomas. And Javian Thomas gets to the 26, flag on the play.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 97. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Bit of news here. That's Aiden Fisher, no helmet on the sideline. He was shaken up a little bit earlier.
On first down, Thomas just runs into a wall of red jerseys. Excuse me, crimson and cream jerseys. Stephen Daly, first man to him, a loss of 1.
Has not really been on the field since.
Iamaleava throwing out of his own end zone. Over the middle and caught for a first down. Nicely done. Quasi Gilmer with the catch in front of Jamari Sharp. First down after the 13-yard gain at the 20. Iamaleava checks it down, and it's his tight end, Habermel.
And again, quick game in the pass game. Get this ball out of your quarterback's hands.
2nd and 6 at the 24. Iamaleava. Again, a short, quick throw to Habermel. They run it and won't get it. Berger. Indiana says they stopped him, and they have the ball. So a first down for IU, and they'll run it with Hemby. UCLA just overwhelmed here in the first half, and we still have 9:50 to go. 2nd down and 6 at the 25. Mendoza, quick strike, near side. This time, it's Williams. He'll pick up a first down and more as it gets to the 12. Scooter Jackson with the tackle, but it's a gain of 12. First down and 10 at the 13. Hemby gets through. Hemby, touchdown, Indiana. Wow. Radicic for the extra point. And good.
This is as legit as it gets. You know, that win over Illinois obviously was huge. The win at Oregon, though, was just a statement and really a shot across the bow of all of college football. Gus, people in process, and in the process, he would also talk about the process of having high standards for everything all the time, every day.
Iamaleava in trouble, steps up in the pocket. This is where he's excellent, scrambling, and he gets inside Indiana territory at the 45. Lewis Moore upends it.
After that game, it's been Nico Iamaleava on scrambles, not designed quarterback run, but on scrambles. And when you're talking about scrambles, he's the 2nd leading rushing quarterback in the country with over 320 yards.
First down from the 45. Iamaleava goes deep and incomplete. No flags on the play. Oh, there is a flag.
The official, the back judge, is the one that threw it. And I think he saw that hand come to that left shoulder right there and pull the shoulder.
There is no foul for pass interference on the play. 2nd down.
So they pick it up. Trying to make something happen positively here in this first half. Iamaleava out wide, caught, Frias, nice spin, gains 4 in front of Isaiah Jones. 3rd down and 6 from the 41. They're 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Iamaleava in trouble, and he goes down again. Tyree Tucker. This kid is playing like he's been shot out of a cannon here. Carroll. Busy first half from the 36. Brady back deep. And fair caught at the 11.
Again, I stated this earlier. I think their defense goes totally overlooked. It's one of the best defenses in all of college football, which to me, Gus, makes them a national title contender.
First down and 10 at the 12-yard line. Here's a handoff to Black.
On 3rd and short, they've got the most of those in the country, and 3rd and long, they've got the fewest 3rd and longs in the country. They're constantly in manageable situations.
2nd and 5, Black again this time. He'll only gain maybe 1 on the play. Mendoza. Black gets drilled. Woo! Heat in the kitchen, Jalen Woods. So Mitch McCarthy will punt it away inside his own 5. Matthews, the deep man. First punt of the game for IU. Matthews. And he finally goes down as he crosses the 35-yard line. First down, UCLA at their own 38. Here's the handoff, Berger. Handoff, Berger. First down, Bruins, and more.
That's a really nice run from Berger, and a good job up front.
Plenty of time for UCLA with 2 timeouts. Iamaleava over the middle, make that sideline. Another nice catch by Matthews. Iamaleava with all day to throw it. Rolls out. Hits the sideline and out of bounds at the 20 in front of Isaiah Jones.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 7. 15-yard penalty. The down counts. Second down. That's number 7's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
At the 34, Javian Thomas gets to the 30. Third down and 15 at the 30. And they'll hand it off. Furious gets to the 25. So that makes it 4th and 11. And here comes a field goal team. Here's Mateen Bagani in to attempt a 44-yarder. And it is perfect. UCLA finally on the board. 1:55 to go. With 1:55 to go. In the second quarter. Himby from the goal line. And we'll get to the 25. First down. And it's Himby. Gets to the 30.
I would expect that they would get aggressive here soon.
2nd and 5. Another handoff. Another first down for Roman Himby. Just slashing through the UCLA defense for a gain of 14.
And they're just so good at taking advantage of what the defense gives. And there's a big run, and then here's the aggressiveness with a little fast tempo.
From the 44, Mendoza sideline throw. And it's caught by his tight end, Nowakowski.
The concept that they want to run next.
2nd and 5.
Not a free play.
Offside. UCLA up the sideline and incomplete. Great coverage there by Andre Jordan.
Offside. Defense number 52 in the neutral zone at the snap. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Kayshawn Bennett.
There he is. Nice hard clap from Mendoza. Getting the free 5 yards to the free play. That's going to move the chains.
Himby switches sides. They give it to him.
Now's the time for a timeout.
Gain of 3 and timeout is called.
But hey, if you got quarters, you got a post over the top. That post, then you're going to read 1 post, 2 to the base hit, 3 to the back. Hey, now snap it.
Mendoza underneath, first down. Yeah, all that stuff you said.
And right here, they're just taking advantage, a little coverage from the linebacker on the running back. There is a flag down behind the play in the offensive backfield.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense number 92.
So that'll make it first down and 10 at the 17. 38 seconds left. Indiana with 2 timeouts. Mendoza just drops it off on the sideline. And this is Black, who tiptoes that sideline, gets close to the first down, may have it. Black remains in the game. Mendoza over the middle, incomplete. Cooper the target, but there is a flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 28. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First and goal.
Scooter Jackson in coverage.
What are we doing, guys? Don't get any consistency today. Picking them up, calling them, leaving them on, not calling them.
UCLA 78 yards in penalties. They'll hand it off to Himby. He won't get in. Stood up at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. 2nd and goal at the 2. Black in the backfield. Mendoza sprints out, squares, throws. Touchdown, E.J. Williams.
7 different Hoosiers have caught passes.
And Indiana will get the ball to start the second half. There's a little bit more space in the dorm rooms here at Indiana. High drive kick, fielded at the 15.
Partner, this is the NIL era. They ain't staying in no
no dorms anymore. And here's the handoff. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. Frias And that's the end of the first half. How about this? Indiana lights out. Mendoza ready to come onto the field. Indiana will receive the football to start this second half. Roman Hemby, Solomon Van Horst back deep. So Mendoza comes back onto the field. First down and 10 of the 25. And Mendoza hands it off to Hemby. How about that pinstripe jacket Jenny had on? That was kind of fly girl.
Always looking stylish. The best fashion.
But we're gonna have to get her a scarf.
Look at her, right?
Where's your scarf? Put your scarf on.
I'm still thinking about the fact that I didn't say Nico's last name clearly because I've been saying it all week, guys. I'm not over it. Nico E. My lava. Why is it so hard?
All right, so Mendoza faced with the 3rd and 5 as we start this second half. Mendoza steps up across his body and a first down. Nowakowski.
Of course, if you're not familiar, that official right there is called the umpire position. So I'm not calling him a baseball umpire. That's the umpire position.
First down from the 36. Mendoza keeps it himself. Lean forward. Gain 3. Second down. And 7.
It's that development of footwork that he was talking to us about this week.
Sideline. E.J. Williams. Roderick Pleasant drops it. Gain of 3.
He was an analyst at Syracuse. He comes over here to UCLA basically the Saturday before the Northwestern game, and they've tried to implement a totally new style of defense.
Mendoza drops it off, looking for that first down, and they won't get it. And we will see if Indiana actually runs a play or if they try to draw this UCLA defense offside. 4th down and 1 at the 45. Black in the backfield. They go for it. And it's a first down plus more. Black exploding all the way down to the UCLA 25-yard line. Key Lawrence with the tackle. A gain of 29.
You get a double team from the right guard and the right tackle. You get Coogan, who handles the nose guard, and then there's Black with the physical run right up the middle of that defense. That's a terrific job by that offensive line.
First down IU. Black again. But that offensive line, as you mentioned, Coogan in the middle, number 78, the Notre Dame transfer. And he's the captain of that offensive line. What a great young man. 2nd down and 6. They pitch it. Hemby gets to the 20.
I got to tell you, this offensive line is one of the better offensive lines in America.
Mendoza scampering, turns, first. Mendoza! Touchdown! Indiana, but there is a flag on the play.
Which would signal that this might be on the defense.
Defense number 28. Penalties decline. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Radicic with the extra point. And it's good. In the 3rd quarter from Bloomington.
That's Khalil Benson right there standing up. He's the right tackle. He was here originally, transferred to Colorado, played at Colorado for a year, and came back to IU to play under Signetti, and he's been terrific over at the right tackle spot.
At their own 25. Iamaleava to throw it. And a first down. Nice catch. Rico Flores Jr. with the grab. Carnegie Hall of college basketball. Iamaleava over the middle. That one deflected, incomplete.
It's always so interesting.
The Civil War.
I feel like coaches in any sport, they've all got some sort of go-to off the field, whether it's what they read, what they're into from a history perspective, that allows them the success that they end up having in their sport. You know, there's something from the strategy or maybe the studying of the generals and the leadership. But all these coaches that we talk to in college football, it's the same way. We talk about their mentors in football, what they're doing off the field. And I can tell you this, you know, this guy right here, Curt Cignetti, there's something about him, Gus.
Something about him. He got
it for sure. And
over the middle and incomplete, intended for Habermel.
And you can tell, look at him how hard he's coaching. It's 42-3, and he's coaching hard. Why? Because the standards are high at Indiana every single day. And at places where the standards are high, you got to love football. You got to love to work. And only the tough survive. And so when you get here and you see these players, nice return here.
Brady.
You see these players, they are tough players. What is it? You said something yesterday. He's got a what?
Oh, yeah, he's got a mean face. You know, some people just have a mean face, but they're not mean.
That's right.
My mother had a mean face. But she was the sweetest lady in the world. But Coach Cignetti, look at him. He's got a mean face, but he's the nicest guy ever.
Inevitably, in order to win a national championship, someone's going to go down, and you're going to have to rely upon that depth at some position. Might be running back, might be offensive line, wide receiver.
3rd down and 4 at the 32. Mendoza looking for that first down. Dives.
Slide.
Be careful. Let's see where they spot this football, and they give him a first down. First down and 10 at the 36. Mendoza, Cooper, and he's wrestled down behind the line of scrimmage.
I think my biggest question is exactly what I was just talking about, actually. Depth. You know, because we know the roster in Ohio State is probably a little deeper than here at Indiana. You know, some of the, maybe Alabama is as well. Oregon might be a little deeper. And so as the season goes along in November, today's a great example. Gus, Aiden Fisher hasn't really played since the 2nd series. Quarterback of the defense, you know, so what is your depth like? And I think that would be my only concern, or question, I should say, with this Indiana team, because top end starters, Mendoza healthy, Surratt healthy, offensive line healthy. Oh yeah, this team can beat anybody in America.
Wow. And it hasn't even been 2 years. Curt Cignetti. 3rd and 8 at the 38 for Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza looking. Buying time. Lets it go. EJ Williams. Touchdown. Hoosiers. Who are these guys? Where did they come from? Whoa. 62 yards. 49-3. 49-3, our score. As this one goes into the end zone.
Well, I can't remember a faster fall than what that program has gone through. You know, it was essentially 15 days from the time that Penn State had the football in the 2nd overtime with the chance to win the game against Oregon, to the day they asked James Franklin to leave the program. I mean, it's staggering, obviously all set up not only by that Oregon loss in overtime, but then the next week this Bruins team and what they were able to do against Penn State. I mean, this Bruins team played a great game. They were inspired. Their quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, was tremendous. They've got to hire someone better than James Franklin, and I think that's going to be a challenge, to be quite honest with you, with what I feel like is going to be the pool of candidates that is available around the country.
Iamaleava with the handoff, and Berger. And he will not get the first down as Lewis Moore stops him. 4th down and 1, UCLA going for it. Iamaleava in trouble. Breaks contained. And throws. Caught on the sideline. Rico Flores. What a play by Nico Iamaleava. That's a gain of 18.
I mean, I can't believe he escaped. First of all, he gets away from this pressure right there, including Kamara, and then right here, he's in the grasp and still flips it down the field. That was Radcliffe, Dominique Radcliffe, that had him completely wrapped up right here. And he still is able to flip that ball down the field to Rico Flores for a nice first down. That was remarkable.
So a first down for UCLA. Longest play of the game for the Bruins. Ball deflected at the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
Oh, and that's Brian Haynes, the defensive coordinator. And like I said, he's designed what is both an aggressive and safe defensive structure.
Second down and 10. Iamaleava in trouble again. Still on the move. Nicely done. High steps out of trouble and picks up a first down. First down at the IU 29. Iamaleava guns it. And incomplete. Flag on the play.
Both against the defense. Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense number 95. The penalty is declined. Pass interference. Defense number 1. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Make it the 14-yard line. JB and Thomas in the backfield. They give it to him. Thomas pick up a few.
And certainly against this defensive line and pass rush, you've got to have the ability to run the ball.
2nd and 7. Ball deflected again. This time, Devin Boykin.
Gotta get it snapped.
They get it away. With time, Iamaleava out of the pocket and incomplete. That brings up 4th down. Bogani in to attempt a 30-yarder. Good from 44 yards today. And it's good.
He might be coming out of this game.
Therefore, we'd see the backup quarterback, his little brother, fair caught inside the 5 by Hemby. So let's see. Into the game now, Alberto Mendoza.
You know,
and here's Alberto. He'll pull it out and dive forward, gain a yard or so, and takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Fernando Mendoza, very good day. Now his little brother, Alberto.
I will say this, if you really love football, this is a good place, because Curt Cignetti loves football.
Here's Alberto over the middle. And deflected and incomplete. Good coverage by Andre Jordan, intended for LeBron Bond. 3rd down and 9 at the 26. Mendoza back shoulder. Nice throw and catch and a flag. Charlie Becker, his 5th catch of the year in front of Roderick Pleasant. Now these are the backups now, folks, getting a chance to get some burn.
Pass interference. Defense number 18. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
First down at the 48. Here's the handoff. Martin. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jen.
Well, when Fernando Mendoza learned his day was done, Gus, he immediately ran over to the O-line saying, thank you for making my day easy. I got love for you. You got love for me. And just watching the dynamic between these two brothers, I know we've been talking about their story all day, but something Fernando told us yesterday, I want my brother to have all the success. I want my brother to be better than me one day. They are fiery. They're competitive. Yes, they're roommates. But hey, they are brothers, and the Mendoza family here, mom and dad, watching tonight.
All right, Alberto. He's going to get a lot of playing time here. Swings it out. Kobe Martin picks up a first down. Nicely done as he gets to the 35.
And so when you come to a place, you got 1 year, maybe 2 if you're Fernando Mendoza, to go and take advantage of your eligibility and potentially get to the NFL. You can go to a place where you know Alberto, your younger brother, you may swing on each other at points, but you've slept in the same room. He's got your back. So when I said there's also a selfish reason to come here, play with your brother in that room, that's the reason. I'll just tell you this, like, I loved my backup quarterbacks, but I didn't like you. You know, I didn't like it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sorry, boys. James Cox, I'm sorry.
Here's Alberto. Sideline throw, almost picked off, incomplete. 3rd down and 5. At the 30. Alberto Mendoza. Dances out of the pocket. Wants to run it. Picks up a 1st down and more. Still on the move. Nice cut for Fernando's little brother. Alberto. Yeah, that's right. That's my man. My little bro.
See, because it's his brother. That's genuine right there.
Right, that's genuine. If it were his cousin, he wouldn't cheer.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's a handoff to Black.
You know, they've probably thrown hundreds of thousands of footballs to each other through the years, dreaming of opportunities to play on the biggest stage in college football and hopefully the NFL in the future. So see this is just very cool.
And Alberto, touchdown, Indiana. Wow. I tell you what, this kid comes in, Alberto Mendoza, looks like he's prepared to play.
No doubt. Reasons why when you ask me like, hey, can they win a national championship? Yes, the answer is yes, because they don't lean on one specific aspect of their team or player, a specific player, for all of their production. Indiana has set an internal standard for the way that they prepare and play. And I know that they were disappointed with the way that they played last week against Michigan State, in particular on the defensive side. Had a tough time getting off the field. And you can see the sense of urgency and the focus on that defensive side.
Underneath, and he throws an interception. Devin Boykin. And here's a handoff to Martin. But I would pay big money to see Ohio State, Indiana this year.
There's a good chance that those two teams could meet, not just in the Big Ten championship game, but maybe as 12-0. And at that point, it would be for the #1 seed in the college football playoff. As good of a year as Indiana had, they weren't ready for those Buckeyes that day. This version seems different, though.
Mendoza gets out of bounds, picks up a 1st. I talked to my former partner, Aqib Talib, who played for Matt Patricia with New England this week.
Yep.
He said they're running all the same pro stuff they ran with the Patriots.
Yes.
There's a handoff straight ahead. Alberto Mendoza in for his big brother, Fernando. And you know, his mom and dad must be in tears. There they are. And a handoff, Martin. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Well, and Gus, it really is special that the family is here. And Mom, Elsa, obviously you mentioned that feature from Tom Rinaldi, but she has MS, so she's not at every single game. This is a big deal that they're both here watching their sons. And Fernando and Alberto both have a fundraiser with a local restaurant here. It's the Mendoza Brothers Burger, a Cuban burger, of course, inspired by their heritage. The proceeds go to the fight against MS. And we so often talk about the why. Why do these guys do it? And they both say it's all for Mom Elsa, her strength, her positivity through her fight. They're doing it for her.
Thank you, Jenny. Great story. And Indiana running it. Martin.
28 Martin on the kick.
And the run. Van Horst. Flag on the play.
Illegal formation. Offense, 5 players lined up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
Got to build the confidence of a team that's losing. And winners, you've got to treat them. You've got to ride them hard. You've got to find things that they do wrong so that you can keep your thumb on them and encourage growth and development.
Van Horst again. Just trying to figure some things out right now. Mendoza intercepted. Key Lawrence. First down at the 28, and Thomas On the move.
This will tell you everything you need to know about Tim Skipper and the way that his players bought into what he wanted to bring to this program. The transfer portal opens when your coach is let go, and it does so immediately. And so there's a month period where the transfer portal is open and players have the opportunity to request, you know, hey, I want a red shirt to save this year so that I can transfer after the season. Gus, do you know how many players they had enter the transfer portal or request a red shirt? Zero players. And you know, that is a testament to Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel and Kevin Coyle and the rest of that staff, you know, infusing with energy. I know that they're disappointed today. They felt like they were better than the performance that they've had today here down 56-6. But let's face it, this Indiana team is playing on a different level right now. This is a bona fide #2 team in the country. But when I see the energy around this program, nice run right here. That's Anthony Frias. When I see the energy, the way they played in the last few games, I would stick with Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel and Kevin Coyle and allow them to not only retain this roster, but to continue to build this roster. There was some optimism surrounding the fact that they were able to go get Nico Iamaleava after his messy exit from Tennessee.
2nd down and 5. And Frias tackled for a loss. Indiana defense from the very beginning of this game with the Aiden Fisher interception. They've been putting so much pressure on this UCLA offensive line. And some movement on the right side.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Iamaleava. Near side, Frias. And dropped at the 40. Iamaleava to throw. On the move, incomplete. And UCLA turns it over on downs with 28 seconds to play.
All day long, Iamaleava just never comfortable in the pocket. Pass rush squeezing down on him. Brian Haynes, the defensive coordinator, told us yesterday they wanted to suffocate him in the pocket. And that is certainly what they have been able to do here today. Frustrating day for UCLA as they'll head back to the drawing board. And we'll get one snap and a knee from Alberto. And it's another Hoosier home victory.
8-0 for Curt Cignetti, #2 team in the country. As he crosses the field to shake hands with Coach Skipper.